What is going on, guys? Apple Fox here, and in this video I'll be showing you guys the 50 hidden features of iOS 10. These features are not going to be in any special order. I don't want this video to be long for no reason, so let's get right into it. Let's start with the animation. When opening apps, you can see that the animation is little changed and the app just pops up when you click it. The same thing applies to folders that look a lot better now with the blur behind. It's just really nice. Now all third-party apps have a 3D touch toggle. It is just an option to share it, but it's there. I said all third-party apps because stock apps like Wallet or Home, for example, are not 3D touch compatible. When you 3D touch on settings, you can see a new toggle that gets you right in the cellular data in your settings. 3D touch has been improved even more, and now it works on downloading apps as well. You can pause or stop the downloading using 3D touch toggle. Siri is no longer on a general tab in settings, but it has its own menu instead. There has also been added a toggle to access Siri on the home screen that was missing in iOS 9. Not only that, but with iOS 10, new languages were added to Siri, for example English for South Africa, Ireland, and also Chinese Cantonese China. Another change in the settings: Mail, Contacts and Calendar are not all together and they are split up. You can now use 3D touch in Spotlight search, but only with apps that support it, because the apps on the home screen that have only the share toggle don't work here. But when you swipe right, you can see that it doesn't work on the widget here. The Spotlight search now stores the history of things you search. To clear it, go to Spotlight search in your settings and disable Siri suggestions. You can enable it again and the history is clear. Notifications now work with 3D touch and that makes them more useful. You can also clear all of them at once just by 3D touching this X icon. If you're playing some game, for example, and you want to access the control or notification center, and when you swipe up or down, this arrow looks a little different. Has slightly different design and it got thinner too. Moving on to Music app, that has been changed completely. Everything looks really big and also the music player is huge. You can now 3D touch on folders with an option to rename it. If you hold on to an icon in your folder, only the icons in that certain folder start to shake, not all of them. Under the accessibility menu in your settings has been added new toggle to turn on magnifier, which is another great feature implemented into iOS 10. You can also turn on flash while magnifying. No more grayscale in settings. Instead, there's a new menu called Display Accommodations, and there you can choose from many different color filters including grayscale. Reduce white point has been moved under Display Accommodations as well. When you have enabled Assistive Touch, now you can 3D touch on it and it gets you right to your home screen. Hearing aids in the settings is renamed to Hearing Devices. This is not something huge, but it's definitely changed. In About menu was added ICC ID number that was not available in iOS 9. If you have restrictions enabled, maybe you found out that now you can also apply restrictions on speech recognition. In keyboard settings, the predictive toggle is now moved up here. It stayed at the same place in the actual keyboard. We also got the new tab for dictionaries, where you can easily manage them. When you have a number dialed in the phone app, and if you 3D touch on the green phone icon, you have an option to call, FaceTime video or FaceTime audio. Since now 3D touch also works on the recent numbers. You can now move the cursor when dialing number, and it is way more useful than deleting all of the numbers. The clock app has been changed and it now features night mode. This is mainly because many people set an alarm late night when it's already dark, and in that way it's better for their eyes. In Stopwatch, you can now find new really cool stopwatch theme, not only the one that was present in iOS 9. Apple also added a new wake alarm that is a new way of scheduling your sleep, with ability to set how many hours of sleep you want to get and what days you want the alarm to go off. It's really useful because it also reminds you to go to sleep in order for you to get the amount of sleep hours. You probably have recognized the new icon that appeared in iOS 10, and it's called Home. It basically lets you control your home, for example air conditioning and so on. In camera, the filters and the icon to turn your camera are now swapped. Another place where everything is changed is Maps, where now the search bar is down and is definitely more comfortable. In Safari, there is an option to close all tabs at once. To do that, just hold on to tabs icon and click Close Tabs. And also, you are not limited anymore and you can have as many tabs open as you want. You can now search in the notification center, and people who have so many notifications will definitely appreciate it. The flashlight is now accessible in 3 various intensities. In the control center, when 3D touching on the flashlight, you can choose which one you like. Many stock apps now have a widget. In iOS 9, only a couple apps like Stocks or Weather had their own widget. Now there are much more apps available that have a widget you can use. In the notification center on the home screen, there is only one page, but in other apps there are 2 pages, so you always have widgets around you. The icon to come back to previous app looks different as well, and now it doesn't cover your cellular network. In App Store, the Explore tab has been replaced with categories. Photos app is also reorganized, the albums are a lot bigger, and it has changed in pretty much every aspect. In Photos, there is a new Memories tab, which basically stores photos of certain time at certain place, and it can create a nice presenting video out of those pictures. You can now mark up on your photos using the stock Photos app. You can also use third-party apps to create the markup. In iOS 10, apps on the home screen have a widget activated by 3D Touch, but if you want to add a widget to the other widgets, just click this little icon that says Add Widget. The vibration when applying the silent mode is now changed. I know I mentioned it in my previous video, but I just like it so much, so I had to include it. The Health app is now different as well. With these fancy pictures, it looks a lot more elegant and hopefully it is more useful as well. And the final one has to be the change in terms of notifications, because now the alert style called Alert looks different and it doesn't appear right in the middle of the screen, but now it looks like banner style, with the difference that it doesn't disappear after a while. And there you guys have it, the 50 hidden and secret features of iOS 10. I really hope you like it, and if you do, then click the like button to let me know. And also check out some of my other videos and subscribe if you like them. Have a nice day and see you next time. Peace.